Hi everyone, Alex from Beam is here, and today in Beam Pulse we will present the results of the Beam versus Monero meme competition that we had last week, talk about our upcoming 5.1 testnet release and our progress in the DeFi arena, and we will also talk about the structure and operation of the Maker DAO DAI algorithmic stablecoin, how it works and what it can do. So let's get started. The title of this episode is sponsored by Gus, Beam Head of Ambassadors. Prove your meme, and it's the only proof you will ever need. So last week we had announced the competition for the best Beam versus Monero meme, and we had a lot of very creative entries. So these are the top 5 picks. So at number 5 from MJ, we have Geico operating a chainsaw in what looks like some kind of shiny armor. And this is funny, of course, because anyone who knows Geico would know that he would never operate something without a screen, and that has only one button. At number 4, from Groot,
I'm Groot.
A great illustration of the inherent asymmetry of the privacy world. The fact that you don't see them does not mean that they don't see you. Very deep and philosophical concept, brilliantly illustrated by this lovely dog. At number 3, from Crypto Nation, creative use of the well-known meme featuring classic and beloved character Homer Simpson. And as you obviously know, this comes from the 1994 episode, and this scene is part of very nuanced Terminator 2 Judgment Day reference. At number 2, we have an all-time classic Super Mario stacking beams to get a Lambo. Beautiful execution by our community member Koro. And finally, at number 1, from Victor A. Daniels, stylish and timely reminder of always using your own head and making your own decisions. Very important in all walks of life, especially in crypto. For more great Beam-related art, please join our Telegram channel dedicated exclusively for this purpose and arguing who should have gotten the first place in this competition. Link in the description below. Now that we have covered the important stuff, let's have some fun and talk about the 5.1 testnet release. At the time that I'm shooting this video on Wednesday, there is only one open issue remaining, and I wonder whether Beam would be actually releasing it today, and I have no idea, but you, people of the future, already know the answer. Once it is released, however, we will need your help, because this version has a lot of new functionality in the UI wallets, and we would really like to ask you to help us testing it. So we will be releasing a separate video covering all the new functionality in the next few days, and you can either refresh your YouTube page every hour until you see it, or you can subscribe to our channel, and then you will be automatically notified when this video appears. I use this technology myself, subscribe, it's amazing. Our work on confidential DeFi is also moving along rather nicely, and in the next few weeks we will be demoing some of the possible implementations. And before we do that, however, I feel that we need to tone down the technology from its current, 18 plus tech rating. And I don't want to alarm you, but one of Beam developers actually asked for a 1-week vacation after he saw an internal demo of this technology. So I'm not sure this is still ready to be shown to the wider audience. One of the first things that we will demonstrate with Beam Confidential DeFi is obviously confidential stablecoin. And to understand how these algorithmic stablecoins work, let's look at the example of Maker DAO DAI in our next segment. But before that, a minute of culture. One of the people that I always feel are a little bit less known than they probably should be is Charles Babbage. During his long, almost 80-year life, he has done a lot of things in areas of mathematics, technology and engineering, and also in philosophy. However, I think one of his most outstanding achievements was the design of the first mechanical computing device. And he also originated the idea of a digital programmable computer. Now, even though most of his designs were not actually implemented completely during his lifetime, they still shared a lot of concepts and ideas with most modern computers of today. For example, his analytical engine had a separate code and data memory. He had instruction pointers, jumps, including conditional jumps, and also loops, and basically it was programmable using punch cards. So if it would have been completed during his lifetime, it would become the first ever mechanical Turing-complete computer, even though, of course, they didn't know who Turing was at that time. Babbage also made some important contributions to cryptography. However, most of his work was related to some military applications, and which is why it was kept secret and only published many, many years later. And then, only then, he got the attribution for like supremacy for the first, being the first in this area. But one of the things he realized, for example, was the relation between encryption using a specific keyword and modular math, which is today one of the most basic things in cryptography. Now, in this segment, we will look at the ideas behind the DAI project and how it works, and we will start with the concept of the CDP, collateralized deposition, which is one of the basic concepts in the Maker DAO DAI system. So how does it work? In order to get DAI stablecoins, user of the system posts collateral, say in Ethereum. And theoretically, if we wanted to get, for example, $100 worth of DAI, which means 100 DAI, since one DAI worth $1, we could post $100 worth of collateral in Ethereum. This would work fine if Ethereum kept its price stable or if the price of Ethereum would actually go up, but it obviously would be a problem if the price of Ethereum would go down, because at this point we would not have enough collateral to cover all the coins, all the DAI coins emitted by the system. So in order to avoid this situation, the user actually posts more collateral than the value he receives. And this ratio is called collateralization ratio, and it's set at, let's say, 1.5, 1.6 times the value of the DAI that he gets from the system. So if the price of Ethereum goes down within this range, up until certain threshold, everything is fine. However, when this threshold is crossed and price of Ethereum drops more than the system can afford, one of the three things can happen. First of all, the user can post more collateral and thus maintain his position. Or alternatively, he can return the DAI that he has and get his collateral back, minus the fees, of course. However, if the user does neither of the first two options, then the system defaults to the third option of basically selling his position at an auction. And this is, of course, has to be done before the collateralization reaches the 1.1 ratio, and then we have not enough collateral to cover all the DAI in the system. Even though all these mechanisms exist, still there can be some kind of black swan event in which the price of the collateral plummets, and then the system does not have enough time to react to these changes. What happens then? So this is where the second part of the Maker DAO DAI system comes in place, namely a new token called the Maker token. And this token is used to govern the system, and holders of this token collect those fees that are paid by the users who use DAI. However, these owners of Maker token also have some responsibilities. First of all, they vote for all these parameters of the system, including the collateralization ratio, but also they act as lenders of last resort, and when there is some catastrophic event, they cover the collateral needed to make DAI valued still at $1 at all times. There is also additional mechanism called global settlement, which is activated in catastrophic emergencies, but we will not discuss it in this video. So this is how Maker DAO DAI preserves this $1 value for the DAI coins at all times, and also allows decentralized and flexible management of the system using the Maker governance tokens. I believe that at this point, this is one of the most creative and innovative uses of smart contracts on Ethereum, and I Really recommend you to read the articles about it that we list in the description below, and also research this project and admire its beauty. So these are all the updates that we had for today. Please subscribe to our channel, and thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.